It's the autumn statement at 12:40 today. What might be in it, we don't know. Maybe Stephen Hammond, Tory MP, does. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
What do you want to be in it?
I want to see three things, really. I want to see that we have shown that we can run the economy fiscally responsibly, and I think you're going to see that today with some of the OBR forecasts about the fact that debt is now beginning to fall. I think I want to see if there's room for tax cuts in terms today, then I want to see, as has been well trailed this morning, something that benefits more people, and national insurance does that, or you could have moved some of the lower thresholds, but it looks like it's national insurance. And the one thing that you will know that I wrote something on over the weekend was actually ensuring that we boost business.
Boosting growth, it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, it is called boosting growth. One of the ways to do that is to ensure that companies can invest so that it grows for the future in a non-inflationary way. And doing what we think we're going to do, which is the 100% of expensing, will mean that it simplifies the tax system, it gives businesses certainty, and the OBR is saying that's already boosting investment growth by about 3% a year. So if you make it permanent, that's likely to do more.
Why would he do all these things now rather than in the budget before a general election, which we all know is coming? Or is he lucky to be able to have two bites at the cherry?
Well, I think that it's the fact is the matter is that we have had for many years these two fiscal events every year, a budget and an autumn statement. He's got more fiscal room because the economy is growing slightly more strongly than people had expected in March now. And it seems to be sensible that if you want to see an economy grow, why don't you we've already seen some forecasts upgraded, why don't you give it that boost now?
You talked about tax cuts. The reason that he has that fiscal headroom, which basically means more money, is because inflation has come down. Suggestion is tax cuts will push inflation back up again.
Well, that depends what type of tax cuts you make. That's
why you talk about national insurance.
Precisely, which is much less. If you'd done the personal tax cut now in a big way, it might well have done. If you cut that now, it might well have done. But by doing this, it actually helps workers. I see that, reading the papers this morning, the Resolution Foundation says this is going to benefit 28 million people.
You talked also about well, you didn't talk specifically about the minimum wage, but let's talk about it. You said it will be benefiting lots of people. The first time that we've seen an increase of this magnitude, potentially, he's not given us the details yet, in a decade.
Yeah, I mean, what he has quite rightly, in my chosen to do is that there was a lot of speculation as where he could have given himself more room by using a lower number than what you would normally use. But by using the September inflation number, which was higher than the October number, the upgrade to benefits across the system will be bigger and also true for people on national minimum wage. And that seems to me to be the right thing to do.
Is any of this pointing towards an early election?
I don't know. I think what it's pointing to is that we're starting to show that after last year, the Chancellor and the Prime Minister have got the economy beginning to grow. We've got debt falling. I would have thought that if I were them, they would want to show that they can do that through next year.
OK. Tell me a bit more about your report that you've authored, Boosting Growth. You're from the One Nation caucus of Tory MPs. First of all, what does that mean? And secondly, how supportive are you of this Chancellor?
So what that means is really when you're a One Nation, what we're saying is that we are, I think, socially liberal, fiscally responsible. It means that we believe in opportunity, and it means we should be the party of business. And it's those four things that I think underpin being a One Nation Conservative.
You've had 13 years to do that, haven't you?
And of course, we've had the third highest growth in the G7 over those 13 years. But as always, these are enduring values. These are values that were set out in the middle of the 19th century, and the Conservative tradition comes from that. And to your point, I think that some of the things that we argued for in that report, it appears the Chancellor may be doing today. So I'm fully supportive of this Chancellor.
OK. My viewers this morning will think, oh, yeah, but what about income tax? When's that coming down?
Well, if I could tell you that, Kay, I'd be
I thought you were going to tell me that we don't necessarily need income tax to come down in order for people to feel that they've got more money in their pocket. But I'm putting words in your mouth.
Well, I can say that as well. But I mean, I think the more important thing is two things. One is I'm not Chancellor of the Exchequer, but I think the key thing at the moment is actually getting inflation down as well, because that will make people feel better off. And that is a key part of what you're going to hear again today as a central plank of the government's policy. And halving it, which was the objective for this year, makes a real difference.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the most recent Sky News poll tracker as I'm talking to you, giving Labour a 20-point lead over the Conservatives. He's going to have to do a lot more than just tinkering around the edges with national insurance to convince people to vote for you.
Well, I think what would put people off even more as a starting point is if we were doing irresponsible things today. This is a sensible first move that will actually benefit 28 million people. And, you know, I have been, as you well know, a Conservative MP for a very long period of time. And in December 2008, we were 15 points ahead in the polls. And in June 2010, we didn't have an overall majority. And I just think this today will be the starting point of showing that the economy is beginning to recover and people are going to be better off under the Conservatives.
I suppose what I'm trying to allude to is whether this is the right Chancellor for the job, because there's been lots of speculation in the papers over the last 2 or 3 weeks that he would have been moved during the reshuffle. He wasn't. We saw Lord Cameron. Who saw that coming? Did you expect that?
No, and I just enjoyed your reaction so much. I did something with Sophie that evening, and we just played your reaction.
Unbelievable. I mean, did you not have the same reaction when you saw him?
Yes. I mean,
anyway, going back to the point, is he the right Chancellor for the job, I suppose? There was some suggestion that he would be moved in the reshuffle. He wasn't. Obviously, the Prime Minister has faith in him.
Yeah, absolutely. And why wouldn't he? You're starting to see the economy do exactly what the Prime Minister set out at the beginning of the year, reducing debt, halving inflation, starting to see growth come through. And those are the key preconditions to benefit everybody. And you're starting to see that today with the national insurance cut, and you'll see more of that as we go through next year.
OK, final thought. What do you not want to see in the autumn statement today?
What do I not want to see? I suppose what the worst thing would be is if you saw something, some hit which you hadn't expected to the economy, but I'm not seeing that. The OBR numbers look good. And what I don't want to see is any move back any more on some of the green moves we've made, which are great. I'd love to see something, a bit of a positive surprise on those today.
OK, it's good to see you, Stephen. Thanks.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.